hello, and welcome back to Scars of Disorder, our little avatar show here at Dustfire Media. How are you guys doing?
Oh, so good.
I'm good. I realized I left Discord and I was talking. I don't know why I decided to quit Discord. And then I was like, why can't I hear them? Did they hear me? And I was like, wait, I quit Discord. And I don't know why I did that.
Nick and I were just in the green room like, oh, I guess we're going.
Everybody just left. We were like, all right, okay.
Sorry.
Love it. It's a great practice. Just get rid of the countdown and just catch us by surprise. I think it'll help us get into it more, you know?
Well, you were talking about classes at my old college, and I was reminiscing, but no one heard me. That's okay.
Oh, okay. Honestly, I thought it was the opposite. I thought like I do not want to hear about the classes at that school.
No, I had some. You're talking about intro to biblical studies. It was a good class. I remember the teacher.
I liked that class.
Was Dr. Masuda the one that taught it? Still?
No. No.
He was a lovely human being.
No, I forget who I had. The only professor I remember is the professor that taught what my major was, which was a classical guitar performance professor. That's the only one I remember.
I just caught up with an old friend from college, and my college doesn't exist anymore. It's just online.
Yeah, my college doesn't exist anymore.
Hilarious to think of.
Technically, Justin, we catch up with an old friend from college every other Sunday.
It's true. Yes, Steve is an old friend from college. Correct.
Yes.
That's true.
No, that was insane. Hearing about that, I was like, oh, it's crazy. It just doesn't exist anymore. But I don't want to talk about colleges that we went to that don't exist anymore. I want to talk about, and thank you so much for this, Sam. I want to talk about if you were to host a reality television show, what would it be and what would it be called? Honestly, I could easily call mine Scars of Disorder.
But what would it be about? It's a good name.
Just revealing everybody's bullshit.
What's it about, Danny?
No, I don't think I would call it Scars of Disorder. I think I'd call it...
Yeah, there are two ways to come at this question. You can either come up with the title first, or you can come up with the concept first.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it'd be about my family. Because me and my siblings have talked about this countless times. Like, we could be in a reality television show, and people would be so confused and kind of concerned watching it the entire time. But I think it'd be good TV.
I hear game for some reason. When I hear reality TV, I like lean towards game show, and not like keeping up with the Kardashians.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking that. I'm thinking like for me, I'm thinking like Mormon wives keeping up with the Kardashians.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like a Justin show would be he plays like every week. The episode is he's playing a game with like a cast of people, and one of them is the toxic member of the table. And they have to figure out who it is, and if they quit before, like I don't know what the rules are, but
I would actually
it's more like nuanced toxicity. It's like not like obviously like this person's a terrible person to have at the table, but it's more like, oh, what did this person do that like is toxic that might not be immediately addressed as so. I like that.
That's fun. I like that. That's fun. Or it's a dating show, but board games. And instead of going on dates, you get to know people over board games.
That seems like they'll just be really good at doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Or you get to date the board games.
Or you get to date
the board games.
What
I picture like
at the end you get to pick the board game or the person. Did you like the board game better, or did you like the person?
That's actually genius.
Actually, at the end of every episode, that's really funny.
Yeah,
it'd be really good.
And I can see Justin being the host of that too. Like you walk up in like a suit.
Yeah, that'd be really funny.
I love that.
It's just a running gag that you are Ace. So you're just like,
yeah,
I'd pick the board.
You're constantly egging them on to pick the board game.
Come on,
I know you want to play that game again, don't you?
Come on.
if you pick the person, you're gonna have to pay for the board game.
Oh, that's funny.
Come on. That's good.
What are
I
we
think-
talking about?
Mine would be called "Will They Know It's in There?"
Good.
And it's about slipping vegetables into kids' foods.
Oh,
Yes. Wait, I love that.
Why?
That's
What
kinda
were you?
funny,
What were you all
actually.
thinking?
I was
Apparently,
just worried.
A lot of different things.
yeah. There's just the fear set in with the name.
Will they know what's in there?
We're just constantly in fear of getting demonetized by Twitch.
I don't know that we are. I was just personally afraid of what I was about to hear.
That's great though. That's fantastic. That's like the age-old challenge, huh?
Yeah.
Not if your kid is a freak.
Yeah.
I was a freak.
I grew up loving broccoli and sprouts. I
Yep.
love Brussels sprouts.
Same.
It's kind of surprising sometimes when your kid is like, "Oh yeah, I'll have cucumbers in my sandwich." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you liked cucumbers." All right.
I mean, the thing is, like, who knows? They might have like seen like someone, like a friend at school,
It's
like
true.
cucumbers and sandwich, like something on TV, and they're like, "I like this now." It's like, oh, there you go.
That legit happened to us. Our neighbor's kid came over and we were having Brussels sprouts or green beans. And she was like, "I don't like those." And I was like, you can't say you don't like something if you've never actually had it. Like, have you had
Classic.
these things? Like,
Classic,
no,
yeah.
I haven't. I was like, just try it. And she ate some. She was like, "Oh, this is really good." She went back to her family and they called me up and they're like, what did you do? She's requesting this vegetable now.
Roasted Brussels sprouts get a bad rap too, but they're a top tier vegetable.
Also, fun fact, they used to taste worse.
We engineered that out.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when did they taste worse?
GMO. What? Oh, when we were
When did they
kids. Like
taste
literally just in the last
That's
couple
crazy
of decades.
because
Yeah.
I still
because that
like
means
them
I
then,
probably
yeah.
liked them when they tasted worse.
Yeah. Same.
So I was a freak. I was a freak. Nick and I were just freaks.
Yeah, we're just freaks. It's fine. It's okay. It happens.
Nick Monroe, reality TV shows, game shows, documentaries.
I would probably do something with film. Nothing quite as funny as your guys's, but maybe the last one standing gets a deal with some studio to make the next blockbuster or something.
I would have
Like American Idol, but
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
acting.
Short-
We
like
don't
short
have
films.
that.
With directing
Oh,
or something like that.
So good.
And then maybe the next season will be just for special effects, and the next season will be for stunts or
Ooh.
something.
Oh,
just
wait,
so
that'd
we
be perfect.
change it up.
That'd
Yeah,
be
and
very
I'd host it.
That's really cool.
I don't know what I'd call it, but you know,
It'd be really
It's a-
cool.
I actually
Can you make it?
I genuinely really love that idea. I think it's a really good idea.
Should we just drop?
'Cause
the
we have-
podcast and start?
We have
so
other
we should
stuff
just
like
stop
that,
what we're
right?
doing and make that.
You've got like you've got like the fucking cake game show. You know what I mean?
Cake?
Or like the cake
Oh, where
one.
is it?
Cake.
Is it cake?
Mm,
No,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
that one, but there's also the like cake,
Ace of Cakes?
boss, cake Ace of Cakes, cake boss.
Yeah, you have that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
all
you
of
have,
them,
you have
yeah.
American Idol. You have the tattoo
Yeah.
artist one where they're like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, that'd be great to have for like
Tattoo artist one.
aspiring
Like,
actors,
Like a film, or yeah, that'd be fun. I'd watch it. That'd be cool.
aspiring
You gotta,
actors,
like-
aspiring screenwriters. Yeah.
Behind the scenes of like how they
Yeah.
do the process of like making a film, and that's fun.
yeah, I feel like the closest thing we have is that the face off. Is that what it's called with the makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the makeup.
And that one's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Mhm. We have a Flying Bison podcast episode called Face Off.
Hmm In its literal sense.
Lost my face. It was not a good
Yeah.
time.
Face Off. All right, Nick, what do you got? I want to hear.
I don't know. I'm immediately drawn to the idea of going into like inner city schools and like just showing people what it's like. It wouldn't be good
Mm.
television. it wouldn't draw anybody in.
Like this is the reality. I mean, it might be.
No,
like, this is reality.
it's not. It's horrific and horrible. And
Yeah.
but I don't know. It would bring attention to something that needs attention.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Would this be like in the style of Hoarders or something like that?
It's kind of, but it's like Hoarders. It's like the point is to help the
less
person get
exploitative than
over.
Hoarders.
Well, yeah, but also the point is to like help the person get over
Yeah.
their sickness, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this is a condition imposed upon the people who are living in it. So it's a little different.
I'm
Yeah.
picturing like Kitchen Nightmares mixed with Nathan for You.
Hmm.
Like trying to find just weird offbeat ways to like get funding and resources for these schools.
Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. That does sound
That'd be
good.
great. Yeah, I feel like it's always hard because you have these shows that are like, they seem like there's the overarching goal of wanting to like shed light on something and like help communities and people, like Hoarders or like whatever Improvement Home Edition, that one. But then there's always just eventually where the production just takes in like an exploitative route and you're like, something about this just seems icky.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Yeah. Sad story about the home makeover.
Extreme Makeover Home Edition. That's what
Extreme Makeover Home Edition. All of those people had to almost immediately sell their homes,
Yep.
like every single time, because they couldn't
They gave
afford. They literally couldn't afford the taxes.
Yeah.
that
They gave this
immediately came
one
with the
kid
house.
like a room with a secret mechanical sliding door room where he had his own spy pit with like a bunch of spy toys. And I'm like, this kid in 5 years is gonna be like 19 and be like, why do I have this?
And also they do to sell it. How do you sell that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how do you be like
These incredibly personalized rooms.
come sleep in our spy room?
I think they gave someone a clown room. They actually gave someone a clown room. They're never gonna sell that unless like
Ridiculous.
Wait, this is the bad place.
Good show.
We were in the bad place the entire really good show. Oh. Well, speaking of being in bad places, what do you say we hop on into a small mining village called Tuzin and see what our fellow little bender buddies are up to?
Dude, I'm so proud of you, man.
Thank
It was great. You didn't really land it, but still, the transition was great.
I think my segues are getting better. I'm staying true to the original maker of the segue. Improved his breaking capabilities in ways that we've
Just move
explained
on.
before.
Just move on.
Previously, on Scars of Disorder, our young benders were caught off guard by a surprise attack from the younger sister of Mahe, the mayor of Tuzin, Kiara. After pouring their heart out and voicing their shame, Haru was able to calm the furious hand of Kiara and offered themselves up to Mayor Mahe for whatever punishment he deemed necessary. With Haru in prison and the rest of the group asleep in the southern gym under house arrest, Teto decided to take a midnight stroll through town when he thought it might be a good idea to catch up with Haru. This is when Haru discovered and revealed to Teto that the current sheriff of Tuzin, a man named Chek, is actually an agent who had worked under Reich alongside Haru. And this agent was one who took long-term undercover jobs, specializing in living under drastically different aliases for multiple years at a time. The very same man who was currently having a late-night conversation over some tea with a woken-up May, where he offered her a deal. Agreed to answer a summons from him at an undetermined point in the future, and he'll represent Haru during the trial and ensure their release. And he'll take May to the Fire Nation, where she can finally see her sister, Faye, again. First things first, I want to get over. After a night's rest, Haru, you can clear 3 fatigue, sleeping in the cell.
Oh.
Everyone else can go ahead and clear 4 fatigue. But we'll open on Haru. Haru, the morning sun shines through the window, cascading onto your face. I don't know when you wake up, but whenever you do wake up, you see a number of Tuzin lawmen working throughout the small jail building. You seem to be the only prisoner here, as the only other 2 cells are empty. You notice one of the men sitting at a desk bears a sheriff's star, so you assume he's Czech. Only he's completely unrecognizable to you. He looks nothing like how you remember last time you saw him, and as he speaks, his voice sounds nothing like the one you remember. He notices you stir awake, and he stands to approach your cell. Haru, how'd you sleep? I apologize for how ill-equipped we are to even accommodate for one prisoner. Last night was unexpected.
Are we mostly alone?
Yeah, I think the rustle and bustle of the other lawman is kind of apart enough where
Yeah.
this conversation is as private as it's gonna get. You can't really, no one else is really listening in on anything.
I think I'll walk up like right up against the bars.
Mhm.
And I won't shout this, so that way it's kind of under my breath, so it's just him that can hear it. Check. It's can't really say it's good to see you again.
Yeah, I took you as a smart kid, remembering what we've been through, so I figured that you'd be able to figure this out pretty quickly. It's been a while. I don't think any of our memories together, thanks to Reich, thanks to the Fire Lord, were really fond at all, huh?
No. Yeah, that's right. I don't I try not to think about that time in my life too much.
I understand that. So listen. After seeing you here, seeing the unfortunate re-meeting of the village of Tuzin that you've had, seeing how Mahe is probably going to handle things, and being the advocate for justice that I am, I've noticed you and your friends are in somewhat of a tight spot here, Haru. So, listen. I've decided, if you're willing, I would represent you and your friends. It seems only fair.
Haru will like lean in closer. Why don't you listen? I don't care if I go down for my actions. I will find a way to reveal who you are and what you are doing here. And you will never be able to exploit these people ever again. How about that?
Haru, I think you're failing to see the bigger picture here. You look at me and you see an enemy, and I see your vengeance turn red hot with your anger. But I'm not the reason that you've become what you are. I'm not the reason that you've deeply hurt Mahe and his siblings. The real enemies are Reich and the Fire Lord. Haru, do you fail to see that?
You think I'm out for vengeance? You think I'm blinded by my rage? I have never seen more clearly, Chick. You and Rock and the Fire Lord, you are all the same. And I will take you down.
I don't think you're blinded by vengeance. If anything, you seem to be blinded by your trauma. You think no one shares in that? You talk to me like I worked alongside Reich and the Fire Lord. I was an agent. He notices he's being a little loud. He looks around, leans a little closer. I was an agent. Just as you were, Haru. Look at me when I say this. I see you, Haru, and I know firsthand the things that they saw had to be done to make you the weapon you were, to make me the weapon I am. So yes, it might be a little bit of a fallacy of justice to get you out of here, to prove you innocent. But here's my offer, Haru. I get you out of here. I get you out from behind those bars. And I'll take you to the Fire Nation. And we can bring justice, not vengeance. We can bring justice to Reich and to the Fire Lord for the atrocities that were done to us and to more boys and girls in the future. He is attempting to shift your balance toward control.
I'm attempting to deny it.
Okay, so when you resist an NPC shifting your balance, roll.
Come on, baby. Come on.
You
baby.
are.
That's a 9.
That's a 9.
It's a 9.
So, on a hit, you maintain your current balance in spite of their words or deeds. Choose one. Clear condition or mark growth by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift your balance towards the opposite principle, or learn what their principle is, if they have one. Take +1 forward against them.
So we technically
May learn his
meta,
principle.
meta, we as a group know his principle already.
Which is concealment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that to you in the green room. Nick. Yeah, we know
The whole time this guy was talking in the private chat, I was like, this guy's a rat. He's a rat for sure.
Oh, he's definitely a rat. I think I'm gonna shift my principle towards the opposite. Shifts my balance towards the opposite principle.
Towards connection.
Hell
Nice. And what do you do to immediately prove him wrong?
I don't. That's just for clearing condition or marking growth.
Yeah.
But I will say something.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. My bad.
Because in character, Haru will be like, oh, "Chick, you almost had me for a moment there. You're good. Here's the thing. I don't trust you as far as I can throw you. But I do trust my friends. I know that they're looking out for me. So no. I'm going to do this my way."
And tell me what exactly is your way, Haru? How are you going to get out of this one?
Maybe I'm not. Maybe that's
What
what's
about your
supposed to happen,
friends?
though.
Sorry. What about your friends, Haru? Do you know the situation they're in? Do you know what Mahei's doing? Do you know that Mahei is not only trying them for the attack on the Fire Nation messengers, but for some reason he's also going to be trying them as being accomplices for your murder of Ma Lo Peng? Outside again, Ma Lo Peng is the name of the last mayor.
I connected
Tucson.
that. Check back when we ran together. When we did missions. There's only so far you can trust those on your team when you're working undercover like we were. But I've seen a different way of being. I've seen what it takes to let go of that anxiety and to actually believe that the people around you choose you. I'm not scared for my friends. They're smart. Ling will figure something out. She always does. Ted will be his charming self, and if things go bad, you better believe May's got everyone's back. So, good luck doing whatever you're going to do. But I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I see the justice I deserve.
I'm glad to hear that you found such comfort in your friends, Haru.
There's nothing stopping you, chick. You can just leave. What's keeping you here?
When have you learned to look upon things so simply, Haru? Do you truly believe it's that simple? You don't think my head will be on a stake at the gates of the Fire Lord's castle? This is all I know. You might have been able to find some semblance of a period of peace with your friends, but this always comes back, Haru. Our life that we've lived always comes back. So, if you don't want me to represent you, that's fine. If you don't want to be proven innocent in a definitive term, that's fine too. I can play things a different way. I can still help your friends, Haru.
You do what you got to do, chick. But if you want my opinion, you just sound scared of the consequences. And I'm done being afraid. Even though I'm mechanically afraid right now.
I mean, you could have cleared it if you cowered in the corner and refused to talk to Jack.
No, I won't talk to you.
Portraying a face of being defeated. Check will say, "All right, Haru, you can trust your friends. It's just Mahei's still a new mayor. And he's never been a judge at that. But you seem to trust your friends. I'll also represent your friends. But
I appreciate that.
Because you've asked, you're on your own, Haru.
I understand.
Today, tomorrow, however long this takes, I'm not going to help you get out of this one. And I will give you one thing, though, unprompted. The sought after Tuesday iron. There's something about it that Reich, that the Fire Lord, doesn't know. It's not going to be around for much longer, Haru. The veins are running dry. the pride and joy of this town is almost fully drained. And once they've taken all of that from this town, I don't know the next step that Reich and the Fire Lord are going to take with Tuesday.
I appreciate that, Chick. One last thing.
Yeah.
It's never too late to make some friends.
He sort of almost like condescendingly just like chuckles, like as if that's just like a ridiculous thing to say. All right, Haru. And he'll start to turn around, but then he'll stop himself and look back at you and say, "It's nice seeing you're doing so well, kid."
Wish I could say the same about you.
And he'll walk back to his desk. I want to shift back to the end. What do the rest of you guys do as you wake up? I think May probably went back into the closet in the room to sleep. Nick, just so you know, they made it so all of you had to sleep in the same room in the end, just so they can watch over you guys a little better. So there's some Earth Sages on the floor. I think Mohan and Riho took the bed, so Fung's on the floor. But I think the rest of you guys just had to like find places on the floor. Mohan and Riho slept on the bed like on either side, like the grandparents and Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. But what do the rest of you do? I think Sam had his hand up.
Oh, I do want to know what May has done afterwards. It'll inform what I do.
All right, yeah.
So right after May made the deal, May decided to I guess like kind of go for a walk and just kind of be in her thoughts for a little bit. And then she did end up going back to the closet to sleep. There's nothing that she can do right now.
And I think as you went for a walk, you probably noticed like one of the Tuzan lawmen was tasked to like tail you just to make sure you weren't like trying to escape. I think there were probably a few moments where like you knew he was watching you, but like if you were to turn around, like you like dive behind a corner or something.
Professional.
Yes, they're very professional about this.
Okay, I can work with that. We'll say that heading back from the jail from his conversation with Haru, Teto got distracted by a bird, and May came back first, and so he's come back after her. So everybody's asleep, and Teto knows that he's got this information, but he's tentative and doesn't want to wake people up, especially the Earth Stages, which are sleeping Charlie in the Chocolate Factory grandparent style in the bed. Maybe he tries to shake them, but they're not awake. So I think what he's going to do is he'll huddle next to Ling and like doze off, but as soon as Ling wakes up, he's going to wake up and deliver his news.
Ling wakes up like crack of dawn, like really early.
Teto is, I'm not sure about this clearing fatigue, Danny, because
you said before, right?
Yeah, I did, and you can't take it back.
I would like to say I only unmarked 2 because I feel like sleeping in a jail cell is not comfortable.
Oh, he told you to mark last, right?
I told you to
Or did
mark
only say
3.
3. I'm only going to unmark 2.
You guys had 3 for him, yeah.
All right.
3 feels like too much for a night in a jail cell.
I think they
on a
said.
stone slab.
I think they said 3 is like if like you're sleeping in like a barn or like a.
No, 3 is sleeping rough. like a night spent under the
Ooh,
open
rough.
sky with
Okay,
rocks
yeah.
for a bed.
All right. Okay. All right.
So yeah.
That's pretty rough. All right.
Actually, we were supposed to get 5. A night's rest in a comfortable space like an actual house with a mat underneath you and a blanket over you clears 5 fatigue.
Really? I thought it was 5 for like good rest.
So give us
But
a
some
A
of us
week's
went on
rest pretty
mats or
much
anything.
anywhere, even in the wilderness, also clears 5.
Also clear 5. All right. That's fine. I've been called out. Go ahead and clear
Okay.
5. Because you guys are all cozied up in the end. There's a lot of people in the room, so it's nice and warm as you sleep. All the bodies, generating that heat. Mohan and Riho sweat profusely whenever they sleep.
Oh.
So
Yo.
Human?
Why would you put that detail in there?
Because he can.
I guess I can.
So yeah, it's like crack of dawn and Ling like shoots up like first rays of light.
And that will disturb Teto awake, and he'll sprawl out on the ground at Ling's feet, like wiping the sleep out of his eyes.
Oh, sorry, Teto.
Ling, you're awake.
Yep.
When you find Tetra like was Tetra like right up against Ling?
Yeah, that was his. Like maybe
Yeah.
like curled up on her feet like a dog. So as soon as she
Just, like,
moves,
launched her up.
I love it.
All right.
Ling, I had something I needed to tell you, but I need some tea or something. No, this is too important.
Knock, knock, knock. You hear a knock on the door.
Shush. We're sleeping. Ling.
I gotta. Let me just. I like step over the people in the room and like
no,
open up
Ling,
the door.
Teta will grab onto her legs.
What?
Wait,
What do you want?
Hold on. I had a conversation with Haru last night.
How did you do
Are
that?
you guys okay in
Like,
there?
Yes, we're just mostly asleep. What did you need?
Tea. Get me tea. No.
Can you get us tea,
What?
please?
First tea.
I really hate to inconvenience you, but I'm not so much as a butler or like a server. I'm your guard, unfortunately.
No, that's
I can't-
totally fine.
Tetsu,
Look,
let go of me. Just let me open the door. Let's just see what he wants.
Is
he hurting you?
You can tell me in a second. He just has something to say to us.
Very important. Does he have tea?
I will ask him. And I rip my leg out of Teto's grasp and go open the door. What? Hello. Good morning.
Very concerned looking guard. Are you all right?
It's just really tight in here. Can you smell the
My apologies.
humidity
Yeah,
and
oh my god, why is that
just
bed
the
drenched?
flesh of like 10 people?
Ugh, it smells disgusting in here.
Yeah, it's really not good. Anyways, what do you need? What do you need to tell us?
Black tea.
you guys
Like the blacker the better. I really need it right now.
You can ignore him.
I can bring y'all downstairs to have some tea, and if you'd like, I could get some. I think it might be fine. I could take it up with Sheriff Check, but it might be fine if I get you guys, separate you guys a little bit more so you're not as crowded.
That would be fantastic. Thank you. What
All
were
right.
you, did you have like a message for me specifically, or like?
I just wanted to relay to you guys that the sheriff said once you guys are all woken up and ready for the day, you can go ahead and head on down and have some breakfast, some tea.
I'd wake
then
up
we'll
better
go
with
ahead
tea
and-
brought to me. Just
Okay,
You can,
I'll
just
ask.
ignore him. No. Just
Oh.
ignore him.
the
Oh,
service
sorry.
at this inn sucks. I want to
I'll
speak to a
apologize.
manager.
We are under house arrest. What?
I'm gonna leave a
So
review.
it's just that we need to
Yeah,
go there.
Yeah, whenever you guys are ready, after you've had breakfast, we'll go ahead and escort you to the meeting hall.
Fantastic. Okay, really quickly. Thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah.
What who would I talk to learn about, the intricacies of the proceedings of whatever this is going to be?
Like law stuff.
Yes.
Well, probably the sheriff, Mayor Mahe. You've met him.
Right.
Pretty much it.
Great. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you.
All right. Can I get you anything else?
Yes. I think I've already been very clear.
You want tea?
Yeah, he wants tea.
All right. You have. I'm gonna close the door now.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Bye. Shut the door.
Come back with tea. Ling, I'm sorry. I had a late night, and that's why I need the tea. But I had a late night because I was having a conversation with Haru, and we found something out.
What did you find out?
Haru knows the sheriff of this town, but not from his job as a sheriff, but from his other life when he was working with or for or forced into doing stuff for the Fire Lord. The sheriff is working for the Fire Nation.
May opens up this closet door. What?
Oh, hi, May. We're getting tea.
What did you say about the Fire Lord?
He said that the mayor, or not the mayor, the sheriff is an agent of the Fire Lord in some capacity, similar to Haru, because Haru knew him.
I snuck out last night. I just was feeling a little antsy and went over to see Haru, and we found out that the sheriff of this town is somebody that Haru knows from his old life.
Okay, wait. Just everybody. Is there a window in this room, Danny?
Yeah.
That can open?
Yeah, I can open. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how technically
they literally says wait and opens up the window and then proceeds to bend the sweat out of the bed and just out the window.
That is so gross.
Tetra will wave his hand and aid in the aeration of the room.
Yeah,
all right.
It's already so much better.
I can concentrate now. what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I rolled a 3. What does that mean, Danny?
You fling Mohan and Riho out of the window.
You know what? Fine. We're fine with that.
I think we're going to be okay with that. Then they've not done a lot for this campaign.
Hey, well,
they're taking one for the team.
You guys are supposed to be helping them.
Hectic morning.
Yeah. At this point, suddenly you
Wait, so
find
you're
Fung
saying-
standing in the circle of conversation, like, oh, that's actually kind of unsettling.
Oh, wow. Really spring up.
Morning. And Fung has a smoking cup of tea in his hand.
Is he 5? How do you do that?
Oh, no, I woke up early and I asked the guard to get me some.
Oh,
What the hell?
yeah. He seemed really against getting anything for Teto.
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay. Wait. So the sheriff is a secret Fire Nation spy, Fire Lord, assassin. That's what you're saying? That's it.
I don't know. I think he was like a deep undercover agent. I might be making these terms up because I don't really have that sort of touch point in my background, but
No, I think
that
I
was my
understand what you're
impression.
saying. Right. So he like pretends to be people for long periods of time.
yes.
So why this village? Is the metal really that like important?
Unless they're making something.
Well, they're not making it here.
Some kind of weapon. But they need
Metal
things
for it.
here. The material.
I mean, I've heard some, like, almost, what am I trying to say? Sorry, it's the morning. I've heard great things about Tuzin Steel, so it doesn't surprise me that a industrious nation such as the Fire Nation would want to get their hands on that.
I have to tell you guys something too. So I guess when Teto went out, the sheriff woke me up and slightly interrogated me and offered me a deal to represent Haru to ensure his freedom. He also brought up something about my past, and so that I could be reunited with someone that I've been desperately trying to find since my father's death. And I made the deal because I do want to see my sister, but also this might be our only chance to get Haru out. But I don't know if we're walking into a trap.
Yeah, that did sound like a lot. Like he was kind of offering you everything that you wanted in like one sentence. So
Wow, that's really great. What a good deal.
No, I mean like it's a little too convenient. I mean,
too nice of a
it's
deal.
like everything that you want. Okay, well, maybe we can play this check. Like turn it around on him somehow. I don't know. I'm still
Checkmate.
not really sure what we're going to do. I have no plan.
That's really funny, Fung. That was a good joke.
Sorry, I coughed.
I genuinely didn't hear you.
But
This plotting and scheming is a little bit too much for a sleep deprived Teto, so he's going to say, I trust you guys, and Haru does too. I'm going to go check on my tea.
Good, an external source of pressure. Not that I needed.
Wait, Teto, what did Chuck do to your tea?
I don't think he did anything. Did he brew it?
Sorry,
Should I
I thought you said Chuck. I thought you said Chuck put something in your tea.
Oh no, I said check on my tea.
He
I
just
feel like
wants. No, he's not been on the tea. He just wants to see if his tea is done. That's
okay.
Aren't you supposed to be an Earth Sage? What do you?
It felt like we
I
did this
just woke up.
this joke was
That's the
wrong
floor.
already, but I'm gonna go downstairs.
All right.
It's gonna keep coming up.
This way,
Well,
Mohan and Rihu are yawning.
No,
away.
I don't even want to hear it from either of you. All right, I don't even want.
They both,
I want a
both,
word.
like, blink halfway under the covers. Like, what?
Yeah, stay under there.
Why is it so dry? Ugh.
I can't sleep. It's too dry.
God. If I ever need water, I know who to go to.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. I think Fung, Mohan, and Rihu will also go down, have some tea. As soon as you guys open the door, the guard's like, "Oh, sorry."
Well, it's not like we went anywhere. We're still.
I think sometimes we just forget that we have a room full of fugitives in here. I guess that's the entire reason we're here.
Well, fugitive is someone who's escaped from the law. We are
What
literally.
would you guys be then? I've seen this somewhere. Unsubs? No,
What?
sorry, that's Criminal Minds.
What?
Maybe you
We
guys
don't
should
have
just-
criminal minds, okay? We're under
maybe we're all
trial.
just- maybe we're
we're
all
being
just people.
questioned.
We are suspects, right? That is the.
Suspects.
We are
Yeah.
not criminals. You have no way of knowing that until whatever trial. Yeah, I need to learn more about the trial. So, can we talk to the mayor? You want to get us an escort?
Well, I mean, I can see if either the mayor or the sheriff want to come meet you all here.
That'd be fantastic. That would be great.
Might be down to talk to the
All
sheriff.
right. I'll go ahead and do that.
Thank you. What was your name again?
My name is Poe.
Thank you, Poe. Really appreciate your assistance here.
Oh, I mean, like right now, you want me to grab the mayor? and
Oh
shit.
yeah, I would
All
really
right.
like that. Yes.
I'll go do that. He rushes down the stairs.
Thank you, Poe.
The other guards are just like, "Oh, why was he named deputy?" So here's what we're gonna do. I think you guys are all escorted downstairs to get your breakfast, your tea started. I think we follow Poe for a bit, and the camera shifts back to the prison cell that Haru's in, because I think Haru had something else that they wanted to do in their cell.
Yeah. Does Check leave at all, or does he just stay here?
I mean, I think he sort of sits there. You can see him like poring over some documents, doing things. At some point, Poe will enter the room and be like, "Hey, our unsubs want to talk to you in the Southern Gym." Poe, what's an unsub? Oh, you mean them? All right. What up? It's fine. Oh, yes. He starts organizing his documents, getting ready to leave and make his way to the Southern Gym.
Haru will like tug his shirt open. Hey,
He lets out a big yawn.
King, quiet, King.
Yeah, sorry.
King, I need you to. You see that man right there?
Big one?
Sorry.
I don't talk.
Yeah,
Especially at the very round
we
guard.
understand each other.
He hasn't moved once, by the way. That guard, he's awake this time, but he's still sitting there.
No, not the big one. The one who looks like he's in charge. Him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I need you to follow him. I need you to try and, I don't know, see if you can take some of those documents out of whatever folder he's got. Bring him back to me.
Look, he looks at you like knowing, sort of like brings his hand across his neck as if to like kill him.
Oh, no, don't kill him. Don't kill him. No, don't choke him either. Just get the documents and bring them back to me. Look, we have to expose him. All right? Don't mind that. Just get the documents and bring them back to me.
Dum 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 dum. And as he's just scurrying through the cells, making his way, the camera is now like following him in King's point of view. He's like dodging in between like the footsteps of the different guards as he's making his way to check. I need a roll here though. So you want King to retrieve some documents that he has on him?
Yeah.
All right. So
Say it.
it's probably
Say
best
it.
friend, right?
Well, best friend only changes things if I'm pushing my luck.
Yeah. So let's have you do that then.
I'm not fatigued to roll with creativity instead of passion. Oh, that's an 11.
So on a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. But on a 10 plus, your bonus pays off despite the cost. So I think your nerves really hit you because
I am
you
afraid.
trust Poe, but I think you only got him recently. So every single time you've sort of like have had him assist you with things, you're sort of just like, you're like, all right, is this pushing the limits of what you think he might be able to do? Like, is this
Sure.
like, is he going to be able to do this? And he's proven himself incredibly well thus far. And you see him, you get very nervous as you see him like scurrying through the guards as they don't notice him. You see him scurry onto Check's shoe as he's gathering his documents, and you see him scurry up his pant leg. And Check just does not notice somehow. So you want documents. I want to ask,
Yeah.
so I don't incredibly disappoint you. What exactly are you like looking for? What do you want to find out?
I would love to find something that I can use to expose his secret identity.
Okay. Okay, and you also get a lucky opportunity. Let's see here. A lucky opportunity, but it also costs you to scrape by. I have some things to think about, don't I? So here is what happens. You are like, you wait for what seems to you like forever, but it's probably only like 15 seconds of King just like making his way up his pant leg, through his shirt, down his sleeve, into the bag he's carrying with his documents. And you see him chew a hole in the corner of the bag so he can start slipping like parchment through and just sliding it over to you across the floor. He slides you probably like a couple documents. They seem to be more like letters.
Okay.
And these letters are going to contain twofold, what you're looking for and also your lucky opportunity. And then I'll tell you what it costs you to scrape by.
Yeah.
So you get these letters. They seem to be pretty old, and they have the official seal of the Fire Lord.
If you want, you can think about that. I know Monroe's got to leave in like a few minutes.
Yeah.
So why don't we cut back to me reading the documents and what the cost is, or you could just tell me the cost now and then tell me.
Oh, I already know. I already have it all thought of.
Okay.
So here's what happens. So you, just to sum it all up as you're reading these, they're letters that have the official seal of the Fire Lord. You basically learn two things, Haru. Well, first of all, you have letters addressed to Czech from the Fire Lord. I think they wouldn't be addressed to Czech though. They'd probably be under some other alias, which I'll think of.
That's fine.
But the contents of these letters is your lucky opportunity. It looks like that both Reich and the Fire Lord have informed Czech probably a little less, or like around a year ago. Basically, well, how do I word this? Not like a breach of contract. Basically a termination.
Oh, interesting.
Of his duty as an agent of Reich. He was supposed to be replaced by someone else around a year ago. But obviously, from where you're sitting, it's still Czech here. So that's a little confusing. Here's what costs you to scrape by. You notice King trying to squeeze out of the same hole in the bag he made where you put those letters through. He gets his head through, and he starts trying to scurry out. Maybe gets an arm through. But then Czech exits the door and leaves.
Yeah.
And the door shuts with King in Czech's bag. In his checked bag.
Oh, that's not good. All right. Well, hope he gets out.
One of the guards is like, "Oh, what was that?"
Nothing. Sorry. I hope I get out of this jail cell.
That's what they all say.
Yep.
All right. We cut back to Poe and Czech entering back into the Southern Gym. What are you all doing? Are you all just sitting around a table eating?
Yeah, I guess enjoying some tea.
Oh, look here, I got him. Oh, the mayor was preoccupied,
Ketchup.
but I got.
Go.
And we lost him.
Is Sam cutting for anyone else?
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that was just me.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, Sam, you're like cutting out.
Sam's gone.
Oh no, Sam's gone.
He gone.
He gone. And it seemed like he was gonna have something real important to say.
We don't know.
I think.
All right.
just-
Anyways, yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. Yeah, and Czech will say, you summoned me here? as he grabs a cup of tea from the counter and it's across the table.
Summon is a strong term. I just wanted somebody to tell me like what the system of judgment is in this town. How that
Yes.
works.
Yeah. So he looks at Poe. Poe is like just standing behind Check, smiling. Check looks at Poe. Poe, you can. You're free to do anything else now, Poe. You don't. You can. Poe's like, oh, okay, and he will go like just back up and stand in like a corner of the room. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So
Thank you, Poe.
as you've probably already noticed, we aren't the most well equipped for things like this. As embarrassing as it is to admit. In terms of how everything's gonna work with he holds up quote fingers with the trial today. It's gonna be an actual trial, because Mahe, he's a relatively new mayor. And it's typical in Chizin for the mayor to officiate the lawful proceedings of things like this, but we haven't even had like a criminal that you could even say in Chuzin for I don't know how long. We've been doing pretty well with just mining such and things like that. So it's anything you might know about how trials work, it's probably going to be pretty different.
I figured from not around here.
Yeah. The unfortunate side of that is Mahi's a good kid. All right, I think you guys could probably all see that, but I think he has a predisposed idea of how he wants this to end, right?
Yes, I figured that.
Which isn't fair. I think we can all agree.
Yeah, we're aware. We can move on. The mechanics. Just tell me what is going on. Like, is it just him? Do we just appeal to him, and then he gets
you're
to
gonna have
decide what happens?
You're gonna have to appeal to him, and as well as the town of Tuzin. Anyone who attends the hearing, which is going to be the majority of the town of Tuzin, it's going to be held in the meeting hall, which might be pretty hard for you guys to do, as you can imagine.
Right, but just people that they met yesterday. Yeah.
Which is why, if no one's already told you yet, I actually had a little conversation with May here last night. I see.
Yeah, she told us.
Yeah, she told you everything? All right, so I'm sure Mahe will not look kindly upon that. He'd probably be a little confused, which honestly might work in our favor. But how do you all feel about that?
What kind of experience do you have? I'm kidding. We literally have no choice but to accept your help. There is nothing we can do. These are a small town of villages that all know each other, are all probably big fans of this family, and whatever he wants, they will do. So there's just no way we're going to live.
I don't think. Well,
we might not die. Haru will probably die.
Yeah. Malo Peng was a beloved mayor. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this works with you also being Fire Nation, but like.
Check has a for a split second, like a shock in his face.
She whispers that part. She's like,
okay, yeah. But then he
like
gives like a knowing look to May, and looks back and goes, yeah, kind of like annoyed at this point. It can only work in your favor at this point.
Right. But also my main argument in defense of attacking the Fire Nation soldiers is that they are foreign, like a foreign force in the Earth Kingdom, seizing Earth Kingdom valuables that I
That's
feel
a
like
great
the
argument.
Earth King would care about.
That's a fantastic argument. You should definitely use that.
And also, they were definitely squeezing this town for all that it has and
Oh,
taking
yeah.
advantage of them.
That's
Okay.
fantastic.
Oh,
I already
all
told
right.
me
So
that
you're just
smart.
with that. Okay. All right. Whatever.
Now when
Okay.
it was Splatoon, I want Megan. No one else knows that I'm Fire Nation. Just so you know. So that argument works very well.
Fantastic.
All right. Did May? Did you tell them about our little deal as well?
Yes.
I want you to know, just with it being a fresh morning, I'll stay true to that.
Well, as long as Haru gets out free, then we have a deal.
That's the issue. Haru doesn't want me to represent him. I don't think Haru wants to get out free. Haru looks at this as the punishment that they deserve.
We can't go against what they want. So.
Well,
Do
But
you trust Haru to be able to effectively defend themselves?
no.
No.
Can I defend them?
Oh my goodness.
Ling, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Ling, are you sure you want to do this?
Oh, this is how we used to handle things all the time. Trials were pretty common where I come from.
All right. Maybe it'll be better than if during the trial you and I speak first. That way you can prove your point, bring up your wonderful arguments that you've brought up in front of Mahe and the town before you start speaking on Haru's behalf, because then maybe that'll help the town have a little bit of a better perception of you. Yeah.
Okay, so wait a second. We made a deal, and the deal was that you were supposed to represent Haru, but if they don't want you representing them, then we no longer have a deal. That's what I agreed on, that you were going to represent them.
Yeah. If you don't want me to represent you guys, that's fine.
I'll take no. We're very up for that deal. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
But
Do you?
all right.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, things have changed. I thought that Mahe was going to handle this like a little more professionally. He obviously isn't. But I'm willing to modify our terms of the deal a little bit for the sake of everyone involved.
That's much appreciated.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I mean, the sheriff of the town vouching for us is very important. Definitely. Exactly. Well, thank you for explaining everything to us. I don't know if you two wanted to talk about something.
No, I don't really get it still, but I trust you.
No, I was not talking to you. I was talking to May, but and check, but whatever.
All right, you're just kind of looking at me.
Yeah. All right. That's that. I gotta get back to what I was doing.
Okay. Thank you. May, you didn't have anything you wanted to talk to this guy about?
No, I think I'm okay for now.
Good. We're all on the same page then.
All right. So
the moment he walks out the door, Ling turns to May and is like, okay, I realize I could taste the rat on him. Okay. I understand that we don't trust this man, and I don't, but also we literally need his help. We just need to accept it.
Yeah, I just hate it. I hate that we need his help for this.
When
But
same,
he does have like a background with my father and all of this, and it's not good. That's all I'm saying.
right. Not saying we should trust him. If you want, we can just mess him up afterwards. I don't know. We'll find an opportunity. I'm just saying, we really need this right now.
No, I agree.
All right. Glad you're okay with it. I just want to make sure.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. So as you all finish your meal, finish your tea, the guards begin to gather you guys and begin to escort you across town to the meeting hall. Given the time now, I know that our beloved Monroe has to go due to some dinner reservations.
Have fun. Enjoy.
Oh,
So
Gordon
much
Ramsay,
fun.
We said hello.
I'm so jealous.
I will. I will.
Ask him
Alright,
if he wants to be
guys.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
invite him.
I'll just slide that right in there. When he's serving my food. Oh, we have a podcast. You want to play with
You
us?
want to play Avatar Legends, dude?
Hey, we're playing a tabletop
This
roleplay
tweenie
game.
knows what you're
That'd be
talking
great. A guest star? I love it.
Oh my god.
about.
It's fucking raw.
All right,
All
I'm gonna
right.
head out.
All right.
Is
Bye.
what he would say about our podcast because we're
It's
amazing.
uncut. You know,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
uncut.
All right.
it's raw.
It's raw.
So you
Also,
guys,
I like to think
Yeah.
that entire conversation with Czech, there was like squeaks the entire time, and I was like, "Where's
Because of
that
the rat.
noise? Where's that noise coming from?" But it's
Oh,
just
because
King
of
trying to
King.
get out of the bag.
King trying to get up, which is added to Ling Hong being like, he actually really does sound like a rat. He's squeaking like a rat. Does no one else hear this?
I felt like I could hear the squeaking.
Oh gosh. So as you guys are being escorted around town, in order to keep up appearances, they had to shackle your guys' hands behind your backs as they bring you to the meeting hall. As you pass the prison, you see Haru is also being led out of the prison toward the meeting hall. You guys enter into the hall. You can see Mahe is already at the far end, sitting on a dais behind a podium. Sitting just below him, also facing the room, you can see Czech sitting behind a desk, poring over some documents. Sorry, I got lost in my notes. Yes, you can see Czech wearing these adorable reading glasses, poring over some documents. You guys are all sat, as well as the sages, in a group of chairs off to the same side, or to the opposite side of Czech, along the wall. And you see the hall is already beginning to be filled with the various townsfolk of Tuzin. As you guys are all sat next to each other, mind you, you're sort of flanked on either side by Tuzin guards. Is there anything you guys say to each other?
We're all back together.
We're with Haru.
Yeah, you're all sitting next to each other.
Haru, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm
Have we been unmanacled? Sorry.
The Haru is also manacled.
Or we're still we're sitting and still.
You guys are sitting manacled. Maybe they moved your guys' arms in front of you, so it's a little more comfortable. But
Okay,
you guys are
that's
still
what it
manacled.
Ling, I'm all right. I'm fine. How are the three of you?
Her,
How there at Sages?
I told Ling, just like you told me, I did a good job.
You did a great job, Tito.
He
I'm proud of
He
you.
did, he did
Thank
do
you.
a good job. It was a good job. So we have enlisted the help of Czech. I know what's going on there. I understand. I know what you're going to say. However, this trial, quote unquote, is a farce. That man is definitely just going to blame you for everything that he wants to. And I would rather not see you die. So I'm going to use him to give us credibility, and then I'm going to represent you with some arguments and try to, get the ball rolling. These people do not know us, right?
Ling.
What?
It's not gonna work.
So
First
what?
off, let me just say, I don't want to die either. Okay.
Okay, good.
In my pocket, Ling.
What?
I found a note from the Fire Lord.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be as conspicuous and quiet as possible so no one hears. Check was fired. He doesn't work for the Fire Lord.
Wait, that's a good thing, right?
No, it means I think he's stealing the town's iron
For who?
himself.
Oh,
We know that Rack is collecting the iron, but he doesn't work for Rack.
Okay, maybe we can take advantage of that later. But right now, I'd like to take advantage of him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, if we expose him, it's gonna throw everything that he
Right.
says about
Yeah,
you under the bus.
Don't expose him right now.
Of course not right now, but I mean that's where it's all leading, right?
Well, yes, but let's get this trial over and then reveal that was a Fire Lord spy and is stealing their iron.
I guess that does make sense. I was just thinking of the optics of leading up to exposing.
Yeah, I don't really
Court.
care
I think that'd be
if
so-
they
come on
afterwards are like, if we leave and they're like, wait, we based our whole trial on the words of Czech and he was a liar. It doesn't matter. We're gone. It doesn't matter.
Ling, I can't leave these people if I know that he's taking advantage of them.
Well, no, I'm just saying, by the time that they know and we've saved them from him, they'll be grateful and they won't think immediately about the fact that we only made it through the trial with his word.
I just want to mark that Ling said that we're going to save these people. Haru, I think that Ling and you are in agreement on this.
All right, Ling. I trust you. It's not how I would do it, but I trust
It's
you.
not even really how I would do it if I had any other options. So we're also in agreement on that. See, Tattoo, this is a team. We're agreeing about everything.
I kind of love this for us.
Fung
And Teto is
sitting
going
next
to
to you.
reach out his hands, manacled, and go in for like a team
Spirit.
handshake.
Like spirit fingers, but just
What are you trying to feel something? What are you?
Just put your hands in Ling.
Okay.
Did we all put our hands in?
Yeah. Even Mohan and Rihu do.
Why
why
are they here?
is it wet?
No, the sages were also sat with you guys. Fung is sitting next to you guys. His hands still manacled, but somehow drinking a cup of tea. He goes, "I'm just happy to be
How
here."
Why? Why would you be happy? We
I have
got
my
trial
tea.
for murder.
I have my tea. It's great. Thanks, Poe. And Poe just nods to Fung.
Hey, Poe.
It really is so
I get
accommodating.
some tea too.
And Teto's going to scoot closer to Poe.
Poe, you're a prisoner. Why would I bring you tea?
Just a nice thing to do.
Maybe later. At this point, Mahe stands up. All right. If you're all comfortable in your seats, I'd like to begin. The town is now the meeting hall is fully filled. There are people, all the seats are filled. There are people standing, lining the walls. This is the first exciting thing that's happened in this town in so long, and you can tell.
What about the rock slide that we saved that man from? That wasn't exciting?
Yeah, you can tell. There's still evidence of how exciting it was. You see the man is
almost die in mines
on
all the time.
crutches.
That's not new.
yeah, no, not bad. Not that new. As Mahe is standing, he pulls out this long piece of parchment and he begins reading from it. Lingprong of Nowhere and Mei Lu charged for the assault of Fire Nation allies of Tuzin and ultimately the Earth Kingdom, for the assault of a Tuzin citizen, one Kiara Pang, and as accomplices to the murder of the late mayor of Tuzin, Malo Pang. Teto of the Orban Spiral, charged for the assault of Fire Nation allies to
President,
Tuzin,
I'm here.
and
I'm here.
and as an accomplice to the murder of Ma Lo Peng.
Oh, I wasn't there
Hung-
for that.
Hung, Mohan, and Rihu. Mahe's like getting like visibly like red with anger. Charged as accomplices to the murder of Tuzin's Fire Nation allies and accomplices to the murder, or not the murder, sorry, the assault of Tuzin's Fire Nation allies and accomplices to the murder of Ma Lo Peng and Haru. I don't think we have a last name here. Just Haru. Charged for the assault of Tuzin's Fire Nation allies and for the murder of Ma Lo Peng. Will the accused please stand?
Stand
Their
up.
stages stand up.
Teto, stand up. Stand up.
Oh, sorry, I was just waiting for the tea, but okay.
We're gonna sit back down. It's a thing.
Looking over you guys with like just a face of like disgust. Maya goes, do the accused have a chosen representative who will stand in defense of them?
We allowed 2.
A look of confusion on his face a little bit. At this point, Check will stand, sort of like stacking his documents and bringing them to a side. I'm sorry. Sorry, that's not me talking. Mahe sees this and goes, I'm sorry, Sheriff Check. Is there something you'd like to say? At this point, Check will respond, my apologies, Mr. Mayor, but I will be representing Haru's friends, while Ling Rong will represent Haru. There's just a in the crowd watching. You see some of them are like eating snacks as they're watching.
Tetu will applaud.
Go Ling.
No,
They
no,
do
no,
great.
no, do not.
Po
That's not-
goes, shh.
make us look good. No.
Poe, where is my tea? Don't shush me.
He's trying to help you. Okay, he'll get it later.
Mahe's face turns red. Check. What's the meaning of this? I'm sure you can understand, Mr. Mayor, that as an advocate for justice and one who takes pity toward the young benders before me, I see this as the only option. Check then turns and begins addressing the citizens of Tuzin sitting among the pews. Before you all sit individuals who are only guilty of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And as this trial progresses, I will reveal to you just how innocent they truly are. The Tuzin residents begin murmuring amongst themselves, some giving curious nods, and other even already giving nods of approval, seeing how their respected sheriff is choosing to represent them. Mahe bangs twice on his podium. There will be order in this hall, as the individuals before you have yet to state their claim or to have their claim stated for them. I will urge you to hold any and all assumptions, those of innocence or guilt, until the verdict is to be decided. All right, you can all be seated. Check. You may proceed. Mahe begrudgingly says, as Check goes, thank you. I would like to ask Ling Rong of Nowhere to stand, please.
Okay. Stands.
Ling Rong, could you... Your name's already been stated. Just as a quick display for the citizens of Tuzin, could you just state who you are?
I am Ling Hung of Nowhere.
What were you doing in Tuzin when you arrived? What brought you to Tuzin?
Oh, we were supposed to just pass through.
Hmm.
We literally weren't even going to stop here, except we heard shouts of distress, some screams of pain, and so we stopped. And my friend Teto and I went over and helped out. Some boulders had fallen on an elderly gentleman, and yeah,
I
don't know.
can attest. And you see the elderly gentleman is in the crowd.
I don't
As like his
that die.
his
you know
family
what?
members are like asking him to sit down. Like,
Okay, yeah, there he is. That was him. There were other miners who got out of the mine before the entrance collapsed, which is good. You know, it would have been bad for them to be stuck under there.
so you arrived in Tuzin. You weren't even supposed to stop here. You were just passing through, but you saw the workers of the mine in a state of distress and disrepair, for which the end could have been fatal. And out of the kindness of your own heart, you and your friends decided to help them, to save their lives.
I mean,
Yes.
oh yes, yes. Sorry, it's it's a trial. I should be honest. I didn't really care. I really didn't care. I'm going to be honest. My
Ling
friend
has a good
Tato-
heart.
My friend Tato really did care. He is a very good person, and I mostly just went to make sure he wasn't going to hurt himself. That's pretty much it.
I mean, it's great to have friends like Tetra. That's why we turn sort of more like addressing the citizens of Tuzin while still kind of talking to you. That's why we surround ourselves with people who have different strengths, different weaknesses as us, because where Ling Rong here is a more stable-minded, direct person, is able to sort of see the ins and outs of the inner workings of things. Tato, in his kind heart, is able to make up for maybe some of the things that Ling Rong lacks. And in that, they helped your town, your workers who mine the ore that is so beloved here. And some of the citizens are like, oh, you really did. I almost forgot about that. Ling Rong, tell me a little bit about the commotion last night.
With the Fire Nation soldiers.
Yes, with the Fire Nation messengers.
Well, I just got done hearing about I'll be honest, we were eavesdropping on their conversation, the mayors and I can't remember the leader of the Fire Nation, I guess. Kosu. Yosu, sorry. Yosu just seemed horrible. The Fire Nation seems like it's really mistreating this town. I actually followed him after he was finished talking to the mayor, and he made it pretty clear, just in the way that he was speaking about this town and its people, that he does not care about you and will work you to death if he can or has to get as much of the metal out of the ground as he possibly can.
He then turns to address the citizens of Tuzin again. And to further prove Ling Rong's point, look among you. Look before the people. Look at the people sitting before you. Do any of you see Yosu sitting here in defense of themselves to prove their right doing? I think that if Yosu were a like-minded, law-abiding citizen, such as ourselves, that he would see no problem in sitting here and accusing the individuals before you. I'm sorry, Ling Rong. Did you have more to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that this is an Earth Kingdom nation, right?
Yes.
This is in the Earth Kingdom.
Tuzin is a Southern Earth Kingdom town.
Right. I don't think you're allowed to have customers however you want. Your own people, your own town. However, I don't think industrial levels of mining for a foreign delegate is like entirely in the interest of the Earth Kingdom, and I don't think the Earth King would actually be very okay with this deal.
I love it. I love it.
Justin,
Justin
you
looks like he had
say-
something to say.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for the right opportunity to use I'm a people person.
I'm a people person. Yeah.
I'm looking at this move. In a court is the
Perfect.
perfect time. to
It's
use that.
perfect when you watch people interact with other people.
And even the questions are like built for court. It's incredible. I love finding like
Yeah.
new ways for moves. But I feel like this line of
You-
questioning is when I want to trigger it because I'm watching.
Yeah. Check.
I'm watching Check's reactions as we talk about the iron and it going to Yosu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Something
go ahead
like
and roll that. So just to remind everyone, I'm a people person is one of Haru's moves. It reads, when you watch someone interact with another person, roll with focus. And then there's a number of questions that he can ask. It's kind of like Suspicious Mind, but a little different.
Yeah. I rolled a 9 total.
That's good. So,
So
you can
close
ask one.
to a +1. Unless
And you
someone
take a
wants to
+1 ongoing to act on these answers. Unless what?
Unless someone wants to help.
Unless
I don't
someone
know.
wants to
I mean, like, can I say that I'm helping by being the person that's being interacted with? Is that?
I think there needs to be a little bit more, because otherwise Haru would just get a permanent +1 whenever he rolls. I'm a people person, and whenever he
Perhaps
does
a
it.
very
ask him a
pointed
squeamish question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very pointed
yeah,
question.
yeah, very pointed question. I'm the one asking the questions now. Check.
Um. She says, "Oh, for instance, check. I'm sure you've been sheriff here for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, in the short time that I've been here, the Fire Nation has just demanded more metal. It's said that you weren't meeting quotas, which really isn't like a business deal, right? Like that's more like you're being
More
squeezed.
of a demand, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has that always been this way?
I'm gonna give Check's answer, and then we can have Haru ask his questions with the new 10+. Check will
I will mark
say,
the fatigue.
no. Some would say that I would have come at the right place, come in at the right time if I was a little more equipped for the Fire Nation's dealings with this town. But before, Tuzin was able to freely pick and choose who they trade their metals with, as well as their other goods. Well, I guess the Fire Nation doesn't have their hands in the other goods, basically just the metal. But no, before, the workers as well as the mayor was able to freely choose who they traded their metal with, and the citizens are like, yeah.
That doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah. Then we zoom into Haru's mind.
Right into this. You don't know what's going on.
Ow. All right. You can ask 2 questions, and you can take +1 ongoing to act on the answers.
I would
So-
like to know what Check is most afraid of.
What are you most afraid of? Right now, you can see Check. I want to give you an answer that you will be satisfied with.
You cook on that.
Check is, as Ling Hong started bringing up the Fire Nation and like they're like a foreign nation having their hands in the goods of Tuzin, you saw like the inkling of fear that really only you could have been able to pick out at that time. Check is very afraid of not only the people of Tuzin finding out about his identity, but that somehow getting back to Reich and the Fire Lord, and them finding out that Check is in fact still working in Tuzin, still acting as the mayor of Tuzin. And got your second question.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm just writing that down.
All right.
Oh, my second question. Okay. Haru has worked with Czech. I'm talking this out. I don't think they need to know if Czech is lying. I think he assumes Czech is lying.
I love it. Yeah.
So I think I am gonna ask, how are they vulnerable to me?
How are they vulnerable?
I don't mean physically. I'm
Oh,
hoping
no.
it.
Yeah. How are they vulnerable to you? So, seeing Czech. Let me know if this satisfies you enough.
Mhm.
Seeing Czech during your conversation with him in the cell get worked up about your guys' time being trayed under Reich and the Fire Lord, and also your memory of working with him. He almost like completely shuts down whenever you would bring up like the methods of your guys' training, the atrocities done to you. He puts up these walls and becomes like backed in a corner. That's like something that he just refuses to talk about. And so that I think is if there's a way you could like sneak something like that in, to like some sentences that you have with him or conversations that you have with him, that could help.
Okay.
Sorry, is that good for you?
It's helpful.
Okay.
Justin,
And that
as a
good
player,
for
is
you?
cooking. Justin's
All right,
as a player is
good.
cooking.
I was hoping to give you a little bit of spice to flavor some things up with, All right, I love it. I think there's like a conversation between Czech and Ling Hrung. Ling Hrung, I want you to sort of state your final claim to the people of Tuzin and to Mahe, and then there'll probably be a roll immediately after, maybe a plead, most likely a plead. You might be able to use making them listen, but I think because Czech is representing you, you don't need to roll making them listen. So I think Czech, in a sort of specific line of questioning, gives Ling Hrung a chance to state her final claim to the citizens of Tuzin, and then he can make that plead roll. Yeah.
Okay. For this, she'll like somewhat dramatically turn to the crowd and say, "The Fire Nation is taking advantage of you. It was immediately obvious to us. And my friend Haru very specifically wanted to free you from this oppression. And that is why we didn't leave immediately. That is the only reason. We wouldn't be at this trial. We wouldn't be here to help you now. You wouldn't even have him if it wasn't for his compassion that we were also going to follow through on. And still will if you ask us to." That's all I have to say.
All right. I need that plead roll.
Oh, no.
And here's what I'm going to do. No, never mind. I need that plead roll.
Working on it.
Come on.
Sorry.
He's building tension. Roll one dice at a time.
Make it really good.
Okay.
I love that Ling is the one that's
Don't mark growth.
I'm gonna mark growth.
Well, remember, anyone who helps Ling adds +2 to the result.
Okay, but I rolled a 4.
so we
And-
both have to help.
I mean, I think what Teto can do to help is just get really excited and like start to applaud, Yeah, and he'll like elbow Poe, who's his friend now, and you know, be like, come on, Poe,
Yeah.
cheer,
Yeah.
yeah, save Chuzin.
Check is like looking at Poe like, what the? Okay. I think honestly that's because I mean mark of fatigue.
Okay.
Haru, what do you do?
All right, here's the dilemma I'm in. I think philosophically, Haru and Ling are trying to get different things out of this whole trial.
Well, this isn't for you.
This is for Ling Hrung's innocence.
Yeah, but I'm under trial though. So would
I mean, hey, if you think Haru would abandon Ling to whatever fate
This
is
time of
decided
need.
for her, that's for you.
No. I'll tell me what you think about this. Maybe
Yeah.
there's like commotion, and Haru will just say, "Mahi, they didn't have anything to do with this. Let them go. It's me you want."
Oh. I'm the one you want. It's me. It's me. Okay.
Also, anyway, just throwing it out there really quickly. The whole accomplice met Haru literally like 3 months ago, and also I was deep in the Western Sea at the time of that murder. So
Yeah,
I was not even.
Jack says, "Yeah, I was actually going to ask you when the first time you met Haru, which you probably." At this point, some of the citizens are looking at Mahe like, Mahe, and Mahe's like, "Oh shucks." I think that
I'm sorry. Teto is just playing to the locals and just being like, Chuzin.
starts a wave.
So
With his
that
hands
brings-
manacled.
Yeah.
I love it. So yeah, Haru, go ahead and mark that fatigue for help, which brings Ling Hrung's plead to an 8.
Yes.
Meaning they need something more. Evidence that this is the right course, guidance in making the right choices, or resources to aid them. So in response to this, Mahe immediately rebuttals and he says, all right, that's all well and good. Even I agree that the way the Fire Nation has been dealing with our trade agreements has been not the greatest. But does that excuse you for harming one Kiara Pang?
Oh, your sister. I have. That was a whole. I had a whole bit planned for that. Fine. We'll do it now. Really quick, I will just ask you a question in response first.
Okay.
If someone, a villager, you're in this lovely village, were to attack with the intent to kill some visitor to the town, how would you handle that trial?
Thinking on this, sort of like seeing an opportunity to help you, Check speaks out. She proves a point. Mahe, you weren't there, and I have men on the floor who have had eyewitness accounts saying that Kara had launched a bolt at Haru before
Into Haru.
anything else. Into Haru before anyone else had fought back. The water being lobbed by Ling Hrung, the fire being launched by Mei. It was all in an effort to protect their friend.
I was shooting the water to stop the fire, just throwing it out there. That may not have been clear.
Check is like perfect.
I didn't. I think May just got carried away with the intensity of the situation. We were just in a fight. Makes sense. I was trying to stop her because I realized that was his sister. Not good. Regardless, my point stands. You would try that person for assault if they hadn't been successful, right? And
Check
now
is
you're trying.
nodding, and Mahi like
And-
begrudgingly like stopping himself from nodding.
If the visitor had defended themselves and harmed the villager, I have to assume that would be a normal case of self-defense, a totally applicable case. Acceptable case of
Yeah.
self-defense.
Yeah, and in response to that, you see the majority of the room full of Tucson citizens being like, nodding, like, yeah, she's right. She proves a point. Even Poe's like, yeah.
But I assume your sister is not going to trial. Certainly not to this degree.
At this point, you see some of the citizens like, "Oh no, little Kiara shouldn't go to trial. No, that's fine. She's fine. Everything's fine." But and Mahi's just like, oh, "No, I have not woken up my sister and told her to come into trial, despite her burned leg and her injuries. No, I have not."
We apologize for those. I just want you to tell me why. Why aren't she doing that?
You see Mahe looks like starts to turn like a little like red. Not with anger this time, but this time with like embarrassment. As he goes,
I don't think you're incorrect to do that. I just really want to hear your answer.
now looking straight at Haru, we've yet to prove the innocence of this individual before us. The entire reason that Kiara had attacked them, the entire reason why we're here today, is because they're suspected directly being involved with the murder of Malo Peng.
So you're saying your sister's act is okay because of the context of the situation, because she believed that Haru is the one who killed your father. Correct? Am I wrong?
Sure.
So, with that understanding, you're willing to ignore what is illegal, an illegal act for her to take, because of the context of her choice.
This is always some of the citizens are like, oh, she proves a point. Just because she's the mayor's sister doesn't mean she gets the blah, blah, blah. Just like hustle and bustle murmuring. Poe's like, yeah. Mahi's
Now-
like,
In no way am I saying that you're showing favoritism. I'm not trying to say that for your sister. I'm sure if some villager had some slight against some other villager and it was totally understandable for them to attack the other villager, then they would also not get a trial. It would just be understood. However, you are accusing my friend Haru of murdering your father when his own life was taken from him when he was an infant, when he was trained in what I have to assume were awful and horrible ways of death and concealment, and spirits know what only the spirits know what horrible things Haru has experienced, what were forced upon him as a unwilling tool of the Fire Lord, a powerful figure in the world. So powerful, in fact, that even here, thousands of leagues away, we are under his thumb. You are under his thumb. And you blame this child for not standing up to the Fire Lord? I suppose I've taken over the defense of Haru at this point, but you brought it up. I don't know. You brought it.
Haru, as I said before, I think maybe even Tetsu or anyone else who's observant enough to notices as Ling is bringing up Haru's like broken past, some of you notice, those of you who are observant enough, as I said, notice like Check cross his arms in like this, like he almost like slinks back, like his form almost in this like defensive like stance. Like his aura like seems smaller in that as he like adjusts his glasses and clears his throat and looks down, hearing these things Ling's saying. Yeah, he seems to like almost like visibly like shrink, you know? As Mahe goes, while the citizens of Tuzin are like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh my god, what? Whoa, whoa, whoa. And they're like murmuring among themselves. As Mahe goes, he looks at the Tuzin citizens and how they're reacting to this, like almost like annoyed, with like a sense of like being annoyed in his eyes. As he looks at you and goes, all right, so I guess we've started the defense of Haru.
Yeah, I mean, you brought him up in conversation,
Right.
just-
Your Honor, I'd like to make sure my friends are free first. You already said it. We haven't gotten to me yet. But that means that my defense has no bearing on the intent of my friends to protect me. Whether or not I did it, to them, it was self-defense. So it doesn't matter if I'm guilty or innocent. They did it out of self-defense.
All right. Seeing as we are a town rooted in community and a reliance on each other, well, we'll get straight to that. And so I think what happens is, because I don't want to go over it too much, unless like Teto, you have anything, Teto has something that he really wants to like speak out to the citizens or to Mahe. We just sort of see this montage of Czech having May stand, each of the Earth Sages stand, questioning them, asking them like, when did you like meet Haru? Like in terms of like proving their innocence of their accomplice to the murder of blah blah blah. And then speaks more, probably with the help of Ling as well. Like Ling and like Czech are able to like sort of double team like their points as they're like talking about like, this is why not Earth Sages, because they don't know they're Earth Sages. These are why these 3 old men aren't involved in any way. Obviously, I think that Earth Sages are probably the first to be unshackled. And like, all right, you're fine.
All right, that was silly. I don't know why we did that.
Like, we're sorry, guys.
Mohen and Riho kind of just slip out of their bounds because they're so
Yep. They have Teto stand. I think probably Ling's probably the most nervous for when Teto is standing and starts being questioned by Czech. As Czech's,
God, I don't want to like go over that.
I don't want to skip this. Just Czech. I want to go into it a little bit.
highly caffeinated at this point.
I love it.
I'm drinking
So, yeah,
everybody's tea.
So Czech, Teto, Czech as he's standing goes, Teto, tell me, when did you first meet Haru?
What's up? Teto, what are you doing? Why are you screaming? Yeah, chill out.
So, he had so much tea.
I think he needs to go to the bathroom. Sorry.
Does this boy seem capable of being an accomplice to murder? The citizen's like, no.
Even Maha is like, all right, get him out of here.
And yeah, basically, long story short, it's like a long time. You guys are like in here for the majority of the day before they even start doing like their system. It's basically like a voting system. Like the citizens of Tuzin go up and begin writing guilty or not for each of you guys. And kind of at Haru's request, they do this for each of you first before Ling Rong is even able to stand in defense of Haru fully. And thanks to the wonderfully eloquent words of your waterbender friend Ling Rong, you guys are all able to be proven, and Czech, and the help of Czech, obviously. You guys are all able to be proven innocent, as you are all unshackled, free to sit wherever besides Haru. as Mahe goes, how long that took, and how we have a lot to discuss about this individual before us. Just looking at you dead in the eyes, Haru. I say we adjourn this until tomorrow. So Ling Rong, you'll have time to prepare whatever arguments in the defense of Haru you have.
All right. Am I allowed to speak with Haru about those arguments?
Naturally, Haru will still be held in the prison,
That's fair.
but you can speak with him there.
I will do so. Thank you very much.
All right.
For your help. I mean, Haru, let's go.
You all can go now. As he stands up and begins walking, and the crowd, while murmuring amongst themselves, begins standing up, leaving the building. Some of the guards around Haru, if Ling wants to go with them, escorts them back to the prison. Feng, as you're walking, will speak to you, Haru, or Ling Rong rather. Ling, that was excellent. You are, as I've said before, you have the voice of a leader, Ling Rong. You really do.
I have no idea what I said. I'm kind of blacked out, I'm going to be honest.
It was fantastic. Can't you agree, Tato? Don't scream again.
Ling, Fung is right. I'm feeling kind of woozy.
I can't believe you drank 3 pots of tea. How did you who even gave you the whole
sorry,
pot?
I'm sorry, I forgot that he already had one. I kept bringing more. I just couldn't remember if
Oh.
I gave him one already.
Poe, you're a good man. A good man. Hold me up, please.
Oh, all right. I got you, Tato. All right. Haru, back to prison.
He's carrying Teto and
Tato.
liaising Haru to his cell.
I got it. I got it. I can walk
Alright.
there.
Yeah, and it's already like evening at this point too. You guys spent the majority of the day in the courthouse.
Ling goes straight to Haru's cell, like with them.
Yeah,
Um,
I like it. I want to see that conversation, and then we'll probably just end after that. But what do
Adjourn
you
for the
say?
evening.
We'll adjourn for the evening.
so yeah, once he gets locked in, she'll like crouch on the other side of the bars and be
Is
like,
check here before we begin?
I think he's there for a while.
Okay.
But obviously, Check wasn't there last night. He
Okay.
just left the duties to his other guards. So there's a point where Check does leave,
Okay.
which
perfect.
can easily be
not be
when you guys get there.
like, I don't know, worried about his
You guys,
presence.
yeah, you guys. There
We
can
don't-
definitely be a time where you can talk
Perfect.
to each other. We're not worried about Check being there. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, but she wouldn't care at first because she follows
Okay.
immediately. So the first
Yeah.
thing she like, he's still there, and
Yeah.
the first thing she asks is, "Okay, so like, give me like 5 horrible highlights of things that happened to you and were done to you."
Oh God. Are you sure you want to know about this?
I don't honestly. I hate everything that's been done to you. It makes me physically ill, but I need to know so I can use it to make them feel ill and then bad, and then let you go.
I get it. All right.
So, as you start talking, Haru, I think for the first few points, Check is like pretending not to listen. But there's a point where Haru, you notice Check has to like stand up and leave, and he plays it off like, "Oh, I need to leave for the night. I'm going to bed." But no, he obviously is very uncomfortable with what he's hearing, and he stands up to go and to leave. Is that pretty much all Ling Rong wanted to get from Haru?
Yeah, and we don't need to.
Obviously, yeah. No, I don't want to
Except
go into any of that.
yeah, all the last line is, Probably the least worst thing I did is I don't think I ever lowered the toilet seat. Ever. But that's like bottom of the barrel.
Right. I meant bad things that were done to you, not.
Well, I just told you. I was
Oh,
talking for like 15 minutes straight.
Oh,
Were you not listening to any of that?
but the last thing is something you did.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not going to mention that because that's not a good look. I'm going to be
Lane.
honest. What?
I think that's just showing a difference in how you're thinking about this. Those things happened to me, but I did them too. And I understand where you're coming from. I'm a different person. And I know it. I know I'm a different person.
No,
But I'm-
Haru, I'm very sorry to say this, but my point is that you are the same person.
Yeah.
You are the person who did those things. And you're also the person who is my friend and who has decided to never do those things again.
Good. As long as we're on the same page.
They just need to understand, that growth.
All right. I want to make sure you hear me say, I think a part of that growth is accepting the consequences for my actions. And I don't know what that means. I don't know. Maybe you can convince Mahe to be lenient. But
I just think I'm not saying I disagree with you. And if that's what you want, I understand. I'm just saying maybe the punishment should consider the situation you were in. And that's all I'm making.
it should. I'm in agreement with you.
Okay.
But I am guilty, Lee.
I know. I'm
I
not
deserve
going to
something.
argue. I'm going to straight up say that you killed him tomorrow.
Good.
That's honestly was what I was going to lead with.
Now that Check's gone as well.
Oh,
I need you to
not
do-
supposed to talk in front of him.
No, that's fine.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine. In fact, I think me talking about everything that I've done, which to be fair is basically everything that he's done as well too.
Oh, that's right. He's also
He's
like
done just as worse things as I have.
Mhm. He's like a little older than Haru, but not by much.
I need you to do one last thing for me.
what do you need?
I need you to trust that Mahe will still let you all go free. But we have to expose him tomorrow in court. I don't want to fight him after. I don't want to take justice into my own hands again. He's got to answer for his crimes in a place, in a way that he can't escape from.
Okay. All right. I will do my best.
I can help too.
Yep. You will need to. Right. Yes. I'm going to go think about that. And what I could possibly say.
I'm trying. Here's what I think it is. I think that Haru tells Ling his thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to do it in a montage, not a montage scene, but like as the scene is fading. So that way
Telling Haru's
he
thoughts.
No. Haru wants to tell Ling.
His plan?
There's two tactics that I think will work.
Ah, okay.
Mhm.
But I don't want the audience to know what those are. You know what I mean? Like I want them
Yeah.
to be a surprise when they show up in court.
Okay, yeah.
And
So-
then Justin and
so
I are
that
going to
way-
workshop.
Ling has an idea of what Haru is thinking, but they'll
Yeah,
still
yeah.
be
So yeah,
upfront
I think we
surprised
just
once it happens.
see Haru and Ling linging into each other as Haru
And they
just
They
pouring
kiss.
out. And then they kiss. No, they don't. But as we see Ling, as the conversation ends, we see Ling leaving the sheriff's office or whatever. You step out, it's already dark. The conversation with Haru was long enough where it went well into the night. As you begin making your way back to the southern gym, as the camera follows you for a minute, it lingers as you walk past it, as the camera lingers on the road, as you see a group of wagons that the sheriff was overseeing, that some of the deputies are just finishing up loading. This full of like rubbish and trash. It's just that the town of Tucson once a week just brings all their rubbish and their trash to some landfill, or maybe they just pour it into the ocean. I don't know. As the camera zooms in onto one of these tarp covered rubbish wagons, as one of the deputies just slaps one of the camel horses that's being ridden to lead them away, as the wagon starts being taken away, and one of the tarps slips out a little bit, revealing the lifeless face of Yosu being taken away in this rubbish wagon. And we cut.
That rat.
Did we do that?
No.
What?
No,
No.
Yosu was left alive by you guys.
Just checking. Just checking.
Checked it that.
Just
for Sure.
checking.
Yeah.
For sure. Yosu was a loose end.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
remember, that's not character knowledge. It's just player knowledge.
It's not. I know. Oh, I know. I know
I
it.
love it. Wow. Wow. Great job, you guys. That was great.
Yeah,
That was fun.
God, I feel like, man, this sort of thing, this sort of like, I feel like this sort of like logical chess of like a courtroom drama is made for me and Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having so much fun trying to just like outthink the arguments. Ah,
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a tough position for me, but hey, I'm just happy to be here.
But I mean, I mean, you're doing a great job because,
Yeah.
like, ultimately, our characters are the hero of the story, right? So, like,
Oh yeah. Oh,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need to be super like lawyer-esque. You just need to
Oh,
let
yeah.
us as the characters shine, making arguments.
Exactly.
That's all that
exactly.
matters.
Exactly.
I'm having a blast. So,
All right. Well, we'll have to find out what's the deal with Haru next week.
What's the deal with Haru?
what's the deal with Haru?
I feel like you've closed many an episode with with that.
What's the deal with
Yeah.
something?
I mean, that's
Yeah.
basically been the entire premise of Scars of Disorder. What's the deal with Enter
What's
Here?
the deal with Geo-san? What's the deal with?
What's the deal, Gio-san? What's the deal
Man, wouldn't we all
with
love to know?
mazes?
I still want
spirit
to know.
mazes.
It's true. I still want to know what the deal is with Geo-san.
All right. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Me.